Well, my childhood was very busy. I was one of 5 kids, 16 years apart. Busy life. There were 5 of us, mom and dad. Dad went to work every day. Mom raised the family. She carpooled, she cooked, and we learned how to have recreation at a farm in Shelby County. But it was just a wonderful experience to grow up with brothers and sisters in such an active environment. Well, my first job out of college was I was a project manager at Shoal Creek in the summer of 1977. My dad was pulling together Shoal Creek to become a private club, and I went on the board 6 months after the founding of Shoal Creek and served on that board for 41 years. It's a great asset to the state of Alabama. It's flourishing now. I've been off the board 5 years, but I couldn't be prouder of the success that Shoal Creek has. Then in August of that year, I had my first job at Thompson Tractor was marketing manager. I knew what I was going to do in my career. My dad was a tractor guy. I grew up loving dirt, loving tractors, loving his interaction with his customers that he always shared with the family. He would come in and talk about success and failures, and it just kind of instilled in me I wanted to be in the tractor business. So I didn't really have to do anything special to get a job. He had a job waiting on me. But the business really afforded me over 9 years just a lot of experience to kind of change jobs. I worked in our lift truck division, I worked in our engine division, and I kind of did every job until George, Judy, and I took over the company, and then they both left in 1986, and I became a CEO of the company at that time.
I've had the pleasure of working with Mike on many, too many to count, civic and philanthropic boards over the years. You know, when I think about Mike, several things come to mind, several things stand out. You know, there's a lot more to Mike than just his business success. I'd like to talk about that. I did research and found out that there's no telling, you know, how much money the Thompson Foundation has contributed to this whole state in all kinds of different efforts. But one reason it's hard to know is because they don't want you to know. They like to give without getting any credit. They never seek credit. They really never want to put their name on anything. And these are really impactful things. It's just a remarkable quality of that family. I'll say this, they are best in class in this community in terms of their generous spirits.
Well, Dad was a CEO for 30 years, which I've been doing it about 3 years, so now I can truly say that is quite a feat. That is a long time to be at the helm of a company. He always showed up for Alabama. You know, he's employed thousands of families in his time in industry, which is, it's, you know, to be able to support the livelihoods of all those families in Alabama is really special to me. So my dad really affected my career because he believed in me early on. I don't think he ever thought there was anything I couldn't do, and saw my capability long before I ever did. And so I think I'm here because of that reason. And he also always made it my choice. So Dad wasn't the type that said, this is your path and this is what you ought to be doing. It was, this is your opportunity, but first and foremost, I want you to be happy, so you choose your own path. And I think that's pretty cool about him. And it's funny because we see him at all of the events now. And, you know, he used to be so busy, but I'll say in retrospect, the fact that he was able to spend time with me growing up is really a feat too, because so many people had demands on his time. And now that I really understand that, I really even treasure those memories more. You know, he was my softball coach growing up. I didn't know anything different than, you know, he's Dad, he's the coach, and we won lots of world championships together. But now seeing what a drain on your time it is to be, you know, the CEO of a relatively large business, I really appreciate the time you put into family.
Jeannie's the love of my life, 45 years married, 46 in December, and my biggest critic. So I tip my hat to her. She keeps me on an even keel. We have 3 beautiful daughters, Lucy, Maxwell, and Annie, who married Jacob, Bradley, and Connor. I've got my wife and I are Alabama, and then I've got 2 daughters who went to Alabama, and the 2 son-in-laws went to Alabama. So we're kind of in Alabama now. I look through rose-colored glasses at Alabama. We build cars, we build airplanes. You can work, you can live, and you can play here. I know that's a new catchword, but Alabama is a great state. It's just got really, I don't see living anywhere else. Well, being inducted in the Hall of Fame is a signal honor for me. And I've been so lucky, and I give God the credit for all my success. Well, I've had so many people mentor me in my life. It's really kind of shocking as I started to think about who has really helped me get to this point and serve well enough to be inducted into this fine Hall of Fame. And you start with my dad, Hall Thompson. But really, this meant the world to the family when he was inducted in the 90s. It was a very, very special time for us. And so he had worked hard, he had done so many great things, and I thought it was just truly remarkable that he would be inducted into this Hall of Fame. In the same way, I kind of felt like, what have I done to deserve this? It just means the world to me to follow in his footsteps, if you will, because he laid the groundwork for my work at Thompson Tractor, and he obviously built Shoal Creek, and he was my mentor and my best friend. So it just meant the world for me to follow in his and be a second generation Alabama Business Hall of Fame inductee. Well, I probably have too many people to thank to have been part of my success, and probably my daughters Lucy and Maxwell and Annie they're really important to me. They're kind of one of the reasons I get up in the morning and do what I do, and I want them to have a life as good as I've had. I want them to experience what I've experienced, and well, I'd like to congratulate all the inductees. It's so meaningful to me, and I'm so flattered to join you with this class.